All right, this is gonna be like my last I video or about X-Men '97, the first season. I'll say this: it was good. It was really good. It had its moments. The first episode was the great reintroduction of the X-Men with Magneto as the head leader. Now, uh, I like the first episode. They brought in the Sentinels. Flashbacks of '92 kicked in. I like the fact that the title cards in the beginning of every episode is different. Each episode is different with different characters. They kind of the creators really knew what they were going to get themselves into when they knew they were going to introduce new characters right away. It wasn't like in '92; it just stayed stagnant. It didn't, it just changed and flowed. Now, the fact that they brought in Morph, when you bring in Morph, it gives a lot of people the idea that he's going to morph into other people, and he did. I remember the first instances he morphed into Professor Xavier, Jean Grey, Archangel, and then after that it came into a Colossus, Lady Deathstrike, Psylocke. After that, I can't remember here and there along the way. I I knew I actually knew that Morph was never really gay because there was nothing hinting back 30 years ago. Even though there was a few episodes in between, the second season was about him trying to, reclaim Wolverine's trust, but really he was brainwashed. He was brainwashed, and people thought, well, he was getting gay tendencies, and no, he didn't. He never did. I'm not sure what episode you're referring to or any past episodes, but I don't remember he was being gay. Maybe he got the idea from Sinister to mess with him, to mess with Wolverine, just to keep him preoccupied. But other than that, I don't remember him being gay. But in '97, yeah, he had strong feelings, and I guess we had to put representation in for the alphabet community. And I knew that, kind of figured right after he was eyeballing Wolverine in the shower, and the moment he morphed into Jean Grey and says I love you and all this, I was like, okay, whatever. Uh, Ice when if they ever introduce Iceman in the second season, they're gonna do the same to him. By the way, they're gonna do it to him. Throughout the first season, there was a lot of like filler episodes. Really think about it, the filler episodes between Storm and Forge, those are filler episodes. Those are filler episodes. Oh, she lost my power. I lost my power because of a modified gun that was being built by Sentinels. No, just filler episodes. That's all it is. The cool filler episode was when Jubilee goes into Mojoverse and she gets stuck in the arcade game version of the X-Men. I thought that was cool. That was cool. That's the really true filler episode. The two episodes in between with Storm and Forge, that's filler. Xavier's arc with Lilandra and the Shi'ar Empire. I like that because you can actually tell that no, it's not a filler episode because you actually know where he's at and what's his status? Is he single? Or is he? I know he has a girlfriend, but is he gonna marry her? Or what? Is he gonna marry Lilandra? No, it wasn't like that at all. But it was kind of cool to see like the Shi'ar is fighting against the Kree, but there's no mention of the Skrulls anywhere, so you got that going for you. I don't understand why we have to put the idea that, hey, look, Xavier's gonna come back, and when he does, like, oh, we're gonna embrace you with open arms now. Thanks, Xavier. No, fuck you. You could have easily, healed, come back, and like maybe like a year later. Well, yeah, in a sense, yeah, a year later, maybe 6 months later, you come back and you heal, and then you basically take over the X-Men again. Not give that will or that trust to Cyclops and say, "Oh shit, Magneto now owns everything." God damn. That, and I don't understand why I don't know when exactly the Sinister swapped bodies between Jean Grey and the Goblin Queen, or I mean Madeline Pryor. I don't know when that happened, and I don't know exactly when he switched it because it felt loose. But then again, when you look at it now, you're like, oh, okay, he switched, but when? Is it during the mid of in between the third season where he had the in between the Shi'ar Jean Grey Phoenix saga right before the Dark Phoenix saga? Did he switch bodies? There was no, you can't really tell, but you can tell in the animation and how she was drawn. I like that, but I kind of like was sort of confused by the whole thing. But other than that, I thought the fact that Cyclops knocked up Madeline Pryor was okay. It was following the comic books, and then they have baby Nathaniel, and then he gets oozed by that fucking techno-organic virus, and he gets shot into with Bishop, and that's the part. Also the other thing is that during those filler episodes between Storm and Forge, you could have said, "Hey, Bishop just got knocked off the fucking the time stream. He lost Nathan. We don't know where he's at." And then you see him, like you see baby Nathan get picked up at the Clan Ascani, and then be like, okay, we know where he's at. But there's no illusion until the very end of the season. With Bastion, you might have seen this earlier, but Bastion, he's a B-list villain. Let's be honest, man. That story arc, the 3-parter, I'm thinking to myself, okay, he's not gonna die. He's gonna be shot into the time stream, and he did. There's no body, there's nothing there. Like that last episode kind of gave you a hint that he is gone for good. He is gone, not permanently dead, but he is gone. And I don't understand how, if he's going to be pulled into Bishop's timeline, but I kind of doubt it. I just don't. I mean, I think the writers wrote themselves in a corner, or many corners with this show, and they thought they were clever enough to basically say, yeah, we got this. No, you don't. We got this. Not really. With this idea, with Magneto being the anti-villain, he was the good guy in the first 2 or 3 episodes, and then basically at the UN pissed him off and said, all right, I'm out of here. I'm going to create chaos, until he goes to Genosha, and then he basically tries to fight off all the Sentinels he could with the help of Gambit and Rogue was basically using Magneto to basically use her hypergamy to get to a better spot in life. Not sorry, guys, but you have to understand, Rogue was using her hypergamy to get a better guy. Even though Magneto's in his, late 50s, early 60s, it didn't really matter. I know a lot of ladies were going to watch this and be like, that's not true. How can she be with a guy like Magneto? He's so old. It's hypergamy, sweetie. Women don't marry for love. They marry for status and a lifestyle. For guys who love Gambit, for me, he was really cool. He's still cool in the 90s. He's still cool now. I mean, he throws them fucking playing cards like no one can, until his death. Now, I bought issues back in the day with Blood of Apocalypse storyline, and he becomes Death. Yeah, I get it. I kind of want to see what it looks like. I just don't want it to last that long. Get rid of Apocalypse brainwashing and then move on. Just get that out of the way. Reunite with the X-Men, and then that's it. I think this is a learning curve for a lot of women who watch Rogue and who love Rogue, who have to understand is that you will have to settle for less. Gambit, as sadly, I don't want to bring up him as much because Gambit is the best that she can get. And that's what women hate, is that they have to settle for less. Jubilee, I like her. She got an upgrade. She, regardless of this voice actor who voiced that one little particular scene in that Mojoverse episode, Sadly, she had to give it up because DEI was more important at the time. Yes, I said it. DEI is more important. So when they casted that one particular voice actress to replace the old actress, it was pretty much the writing was on the wall. The Genosha Massacre, it was pretty legit. I liked it. I was like, wow, they actually went there. They actually went there. They went there. The actually went there moment was when Magneto went nuts and basically ripped the adamantium from Wolverine, and that split second where he just cracks his back, and then all the adamantium just spews out, and I'm like, all right, well, at least we're gonna get Onslaught for this one, and yeah, I mean, look, it's not gonna happen right away, but you're gonna see little bits of ideas in people's heads. Like, Xavier's gonna be like, he's gonna be talking to himself, be like, "Get the hell out of here! Who are you? Get out of here!" You'll have that little moments of like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Magneto will still be Magneto. It's just, I think his mind will just drift off. But that and the last up to the end, I think with Bastion, B-list villain, forget him. Magneto, I hate the whole port. Like, I'm good guy and I'm bad guy. I'm good guy on this episode. I'm bad guy on this episode. I'm like, shit. I hate. This is what the writers do. They paint themselves in a corner, and they can't be doing that ever again. It satisfied a lot of the people who leaned left to center or far left progressively. X-Men 97 is X-Men 97 woke? Yes. But they don't shove it down your throat. Not yet. With more woke, the part where Executioner in the second episode, he fights off Cyclops as he's beating the shit out of him. The monologue in between that, I'm like, yeah, I get it, Bo DeMaio. You really, really hate Trump supporters or even Trump. And you were trying to use this massive allegory of this first season to tell the idea that we hate 9/11, but we hate J6. We also hate Trump. We also hate Trump supporters. We're going to all lump you in and put the moniker Magneto is right. Genocide is great. Yay. And we're going to convince a lot of woke YouTubers to align to that idea and phrase and that ideology in a very subtle way. Bo DeMaio, you did a fantastic job on that. You made everyone not really aware that Magneto had no inclination of being right. You made everyone think that Magneto was right in the sense that we should bring back genocide and punish the bad people in X-Men 97, the humans. Other than that, Morph is gay, which is kind of tragic. He's not. Iceman, I'm willing to bet, it's gonna happen that Iceman will be gay in season 2. That's if they put him in. Because they already introduced Polaris, they introduced Multiple Man, they introduced Forge and his allegiance to the government in a weird way. Cable's in there, Bishop's in there, Wolverine's in there. They're gonna introduce whatever X-Men is left out there. They're gonna put X-Force and X-Factor in there and set them into the past and into the future. There's always this one inclination about how Apocalypse will be introduced, and they already hinted at the idea that the past of Apocalypse, his time in Egypt, how he got basically tried to be, how he fought against the Pharaoh, or in this case Kang the Conqueror. One of the variations of Kang the Conqueror tried to kill Apocalypse, and he basically beat the crap out of Kang, and Kang got nervous and got the fuck out of there. And like that, he starts to conquer Egypt. When he conquers Egypt, he expands his empire slowly, and then he says, you know what, I'm just gonna go and conquer other territories. He goes to South America, he goes to China, he goes someplace in the Himalayas, and he finds the celestial machine, and then he incorporates his technology. At some point or another, he has to meet up with Sinister, and he makes a pact with Sinister in the 1850s. I think at some point in the future timeline with Clan Ascani, you'll see like the older version of Apocalypse where he's about to die, and you see Clan Ascani destroy whatever forces of Apocalypse he has left when he have Cyclops and Jean Grey, and they know more about their origins and their future, what lineage would permeate. That's what's gonna happen. In the present, he's gonna form his new formation of the Horsemen. Yes, Gambit. Yes, Mystique. Wolverine's another one. I want to say Polaris, just for some odd reason or another. I just kind of hinted. That I think they're gonna incorporate what I think Apocalypse will have his God Pill moment and say he'll take the God Pill and say, look, what happened in Genosha can never happen again, and I don't want my children, the mutants, to basically flounder in a weakened state. I must bring them, stronger than ever, I guess you can say. I think that's his way of saying I'm going to take over. That, and I think with the X-Men meeting with the Avengers, I think the Avengers are going to figure out really quickly they have to take sides in this war that between humans and humans, Homo superior. I don't think that's their Civil War moment where they're going to be like, do we side with mutants or do we just stick with the government or whatever? I think that's going to happen in a subplot way. Season 3 is going to be like the war between X-Men and the Avengers. They should stay away from the Age of Apocalypse altogether. Just stay away from that. You can like explore other things that Chris Claremont created from 76 to 92. Like bring up the Savage Land. Let's go back to Savage Land. Bring up new villains like Arcade or the Savage Land. Omega Red's out there. I mean, it's Omega Red, Silver Samurai. You already introduced Lady Deathstrike into it in this very subtle way, but I guess that would. Oh, by the way, I'll say this: that's the smartest thing that Beau DeMaio did, was basically make Wolverine a supporting character. We had 30 years of animation within the X-Men, and it's always Logan. They make that joke, that inside joke. Oh, another. I think Morph said it. It's like, oh, another a time where Logan is the last X-Men to stay alive or something like that. I don't know what it was. So I think for whatever reason or another, season 3 should be just open-ended, but with the Avengers be like, I don't know what to think of you guys, really. Season 2 is already wrapped. It's in post-production. They're already laying down the voiceover work. The additional dialogue replacement, I think it is what they call it. Season 3, I mean, they're gonna have to sit there and realize, do we need Beau DeMaio back? Do we break that little? We're still not sure if Beau DeMaio is fired because he's black, or he couldn't work well with others, or because he has an OnlyFans account. I don't know. We're gonna assume one or two things or other things altogether. But season 3, I think they're gonna basically say, I think Disney will say, we'll bend the knee because we need a lot of people still talking about us, because right now X-Men 97 is still the best animated show right now. And sadly, post Endgame MCU, X-Men 97, that's it. I mean, that's the curvature right there. X-Men 97 is still the best show on Disney Plus. Season 2, I think people are really clamoring it, like they want it out now. And the way that the pacing of animation is, it probably won't come out till like early next year. And that's the sad part. I mean, it's a good show, but it's a good thing to talk about. And I had fun watching it. It's just, I kind of wish they eased up on the wokeisms. I hope they ease up on the wokeisms, because I don't think it's gonna stop. Not with this crew. Other than that, I mean, the animation looks slick, man. It looks pretty tight. It looks really, really tight. So, yeah. So X-Men 97 season 2. I'm looking forward to it. All right, later.